Hey y'all, it's June the 27th, 2017, and I wanted to shoot this here video real quick before the sun goes down, because when the sun goes down, ain't no more videos. I had to do it real quick. It's setting right now here in Big Spring, Texas, and there's something that I wanted to get off my chest, so to speak. There's something more accurately, I wanted to put on the record, just in case people are confused, and I can imagine a lot of people are very confused about this particular situation. That would be my situation. Now, as I mentioned, I do have plans to save this and that bits of money and stuff and get something going. Right now, I've also mentioned in a few videos, and I'd like to address the fact is I don't have money right now coming in. I'm what you would call in between jobs, sort of. So I don't have any what you would call digital money. I don't have any money in the bank account. I do have a few dollars in my pocket, and I can make a few dollars go a long way. So the thing is, what I want to tell y'all out there is absolutely don't worry about me, alright? I understand why people would, but you gotta understand, with my lifestyle and the way that I've been living and stuff, I've learned a long time ago how to make a few dollars stretch for a long time, alright? And the thing is, I don't deserve any of the credit. God is the one who ensures that no matter if I'm in between jobs here and there, or something trying to get something together, that I'm taken care of. And I have to thank God for getting me this far. Alright. That all being said, I want to address a couple points of confusion. Number one is that a lot of people see, when I came out to Big Spring, I told everybody, basically, I gotta get out of San Antonio. I gotta get out of here, and so I'm gonna leave in a little while. And I also told them, there's opportunities out there. Obviously there's the oil field and stuff, and I plan to help this old man work on a train, right? And sincerely, that is what I had in mind when coming to Big Spring. I heard there was an old man, he needed help working on a train. Came out here, and first of all, that's all I said. Alright, but however, it got kind of confused and a little bit conflated in people's minds. They thought what I meant was that I was coming out here to learn like locomotive engineering or something like that. That's not actually what I meant. I just meant that I was going to help an old man work on a train. And as it turns out, this old man, who I live on his property, he doesn't work on trains. Come to find out, he owns a train. A little train. It's kind of like a miniature train. Little kids can ride on it. He owns one, and sometimes he works on it. Doesn't mean he knows all too much about it. Alright, and I kind of find out that train's still over there, and they're fixing to sell it. Hopefully they sell it pretty soon, I hope, because they could use the money. Here's the thing about it. I was kind of confused for people, and I want to address that. Secondly, I do want to address the fact that I'm in between jobs, so to speak. And I want to let y'all know, in case if you didn't know, that since I got here to Big Spring, the first job that I got was at a restaurant. And in between times, since I had a job at that restaurant, I've had second jobs too, here and there. Alright, but for the most part, for about a year and a half, I worked at this restaurant. And I'm not going to name names, alright? It's a very small town here in Big Spring. But I worked at this restaurant, and not too long ago, got fired. Here's the thing. I didn't really mind that I got fired, and I want to let y'all know specifically that it really didn't bother me at all. Alright, and I know a lot of people get worried when if you don't have a job. Here's what I gotta explain. I was doing this job, and it's terrible, alright? Here's the thing. Food service is not a good idea to get into. It is a job for people who don't have a trade necessarily. Alright, and there's certain food service jobs that pay better than others, but we're going to dive deeper into that a little bit later. What I want to explain is this. I lost the job, and I hope no one worries about it or feels bad for me or anything like that, because I didn't really care about it at that point. I've been there long enough to know that God bless them, the management and the ownership of this restaurant, I hope they see this video, completely, entirely incompetent. And I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm saying that they had no clue on how to run a restaurant, and that was obvious. Thing is, I can tell you that from experience just because I spent a lot of years in the food service business. I could tell you when people are making money and when they're not. I've worked at Chick-fil-A before, all right? They make money all day, all right? This was not the case at the business that I was working for. It's going down sooner than later. I'm pretty sure of it. But the thing is, I wish them all the best. The problem is that here's how I got fired. There was one Saturday that I didn't show up to work. I didn't know I was supposed to, and they called me up and they were like, hey, or actually they texted me up. They were like, they texted me on the phone and said, hey, did you know you're supposed to work? And I said, no, I did not know I was supposed to work. And they said, well, guess what? You're fired. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'd been looking to not have that job for a long time. It's just I didn't happen to come by a different job so that I can get a different job. But they fired me, and here, I put this on everything that I love. Here's what I told them. This is how upset I was at the fact that I lost a job. I texted back, okay. Alright, what does that mean to me? Alright, what people don't understand is it doesn't mean nothing to me. Alright, because I'm so anti-slavery that, you know what, if you want to bullshit me around, then I will find a different way. That's how it's always been. So thing is, I gotta let you know, it's just extreme incompetence, alright, at this restaurant. You gotta understand, it's hard for me to remember schedules, especially if you're changing it every couple of days, especially if you write your schedules down in pencil. Here's what I gotta let all y'all know out there, for y'all youngsters. If your job, if they write schedules down in pencil, get a different job. Alright? Because we live in 2017, alright? If you don't know how to use Excel, you need to sit down in a corner somewhere. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't know how to Excel, how to schedule, post it up on the damn wall, then I don't know what to tell you. But I don't know how you tie your shoes and leave the front door in the morning. Alright, so these people wrote down their pencil. It's extreme incompetence. By the time they told me I was fired, I was like, whatever. Alright, but I do have to let y'all know, the only reason I could be able to do that is because I've trained myself in certain ways and I've adapted to being able to live, and not only that, I've been blessed by God to be able to live off very little amounts of money until I do find another job. Alright, and I gotta explain to y'all that I'm actually not worried about it. In case if y'all are worried about it, I gotta let y'all know, in Big Spring, it's just a small town, just like any other small towns. If the economy is doing good at all, right, and you live in Big Spring long enough, you're going to get to know people, and eventually those people that you know are eventually going to get you a pretty decent job. And I gotta tell you, you know, I have little things like that on the horizon. I've met certain people. There's certain places where I bet you I get a job real quick. Alright, I'm kind of playing the field a little bit. I'm seeing my options, and I'll explain to you those options here in a second. Alright, but I gotta let you know this as well. Food service, that's a terrible thing to do. It's a terrible thing to be in. Food service, there's certain positions in food service where you can actually make some decent money, and obviously those spots are a little bit better. Most spots in food service, especially here in Texas, you ain't gonna get no money. You're not gonna be able to pay no bills. Of course you're gonna have to be on welfare or something like that. I've never taken welfare, by the way, but I've been able to train myself on how to live off very little money. Food service is a terrible idea. And before I go any further, I want to shout out specifically to all youngsters out there. Don't ever, please understand me, don't ever work in food service, alright? That's stupid. But here's the thing. Also, if I'm to give some advice, here's the thing. I've met a lot of people while working in food service, amongst other various jobs that Americans choose not to do, all the jobs that I've been doing for over a decade now. One of the good aspects of working in food service is that you'll meet a lot of young people. There's a lot of young people in the field. And so you'll get to, you know, start to understand their perspectives on things and see how the younger minds and their thought processes work. You get to know them here and there. And lots of times, being that I'm their elder, I like to give them advice. One piece of advice: get out of food service. Go get yourself a real job, all right? You need to be looking for a real job, and food service isn't it, all right? Unless you're working at Chick-fil-A getting all sort of money. food service is not your thing. You need to go find a better job. But also a little bit of advice that I want to give to youngsters out there who don't have a job. Right, say you're in high school or something like that. The best advice that I was never given that I could give to you is you got extracurricular activities or like athletics or something like that. You do some stuff after school and whatever. Drop that. All right, stop doing that immediately. All right, period. And go get yourself a food service job. And the reason is because if you get yourself a food service job while you're in high school, you don't have no bills. You can collect all the money and start saving it. You don't have bills. Get a food service job, start saving the money. By the time you get out of high school, you might have all the money you want to go to a community college or something if you choose to do so. Or, better yet, you might have enough money to start your own business. And in fact, that's actually a better idea, to be honest with you, right? Because everybody knows out here tuition is sky high, is absolutely hyperinflated, and you know what? As far as the generation coming after this one, who knows? Who knows how inflated the price is going to be for going to these universities, and lots of times getting degrees that don't even help you make money. All right. So my advice to someone in high school is get a food service job immediately. Drop your extracurriculars. That's stupid. All right. I'm sorry about it, but go get a job, start saving the money. That way, you know, you won't have to work for a living. Once you'll have enough money to invest in your own business and do whatever you want to do. You have time to think about it while you're in high school. All right, but other than that, after you save all that money and get yourself a nice small business, don't ever go into food service. It's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. All right. So I'm actually a lot happier now, because the thing is, I will definitely hesitate to even get back into food service. It's a dead end road, right? Unless you're doing something on the side, there's no reason to get in food service at all. All right. And I'm actually doing pretty well. Like I said, I do have jobs on the horizon, this and that. You know, there's a guy I know real well, and he might be getting a cushy county job, and if he does, guess what? I'm gonna slide in there. And the reason for that is that this particular guy who I know, he knows that I'm all business. He knows that I work. That's because it's in my blood to work. All I do is work. I get up and I work and I go to sleep. All right, that's what I do, and I eat in between times. All right, that's just how I function. And what I gotta let y'all know real quick, and I'm gonna have to describe this in further detail later, is working for a living is stupid. Alright, it's really one of the worst things you could do. However, men are designed to work, alright, so it's important that they do work. However, working for a living is kind of dumb. I had that explained to me actually by a trucker one time. Alright, how working for a living is stupid. You should work to get money and save that money and start up your own, whatever you want to do. That's what you should do. Alright, so meanwhile, alright, I am looking forward to, there's a job opportunity here and there. I gotta explain to you, if I wanted a job real bad today, I could get one. Kind of playing my options right now. And I know a lot of people out there are still concerned. Alright, people who know me really well, they might be concerned. They know I have a child. They know this and that, and I need to get some money. I know that as well. Alright, so a lot of these people might be concerned. They might be thinking, well, why doesn't he get like a very, very high level education job? Why doesn't he get into locomotive engineering or something like that? Why doesn't he do that? Alright, the reason is because, well, I had to explain to y'all, and I hope that you hear me, is if you set yourself up in the right position, the trade of your dreams, your absolute calling, will find you. You do not have to find it. You do not have to think, oh, well, what's the job making most money, and then, oh, you get that job and then your life is set. No, that's not how it works. In fact, there's a lot of people make a lot of money, and guess what? They live miserable lives. Alright, so, and a lot of times their health is very negatively affected by all that. So what I gotta explain is, your trade is going to find you. That's assuredly, alright? You're gonna have a passion for something. You're gonna have to figure out how you could turn that passion into money. And in America, that's very likely that you will turn that passion into money if you have a practical idea at all of what you could provide to people, and they'll give you money for doing exactly what it is you want to do. Alright, it will find you. In the words of the great Dave Chappelle, when he was told by his father that, a lot of people don't make it in show business. A lot of people don't make it in show business. And, his father was a teacher, and Dave Chappelle said to his father, he said, if I could do show business, if I could do stand-up comedy and make a teacher's salary, well, then that to me is making it, Dad. All right, that to me is making it. And then his father told him, well, you better go into show business then. You better do it. And guess what? Dave Chappelle's out there making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. All right. His aspirations weren't to get filthy rich or anything like that. His aspirations were to survive and live well and do what it is that he loves. Do what his calling is. And that's what I'm telling to all y'all out there right now. Your youth is absolutely crucial. If you make moves right now, before you know it, you will be doing exactly what you love, and you'll be sitting pretty comfortably doing it. All right. Before I get on out of here, I want to let y'all know, not only do I have like a job that could be on the horizon working for the county, not only do I have jobs here and there that I know certain people I could get certain jobs, but I gotta let y'all know, I've been doing little odd jobs since I lost my restaurant job, here and there, and getting a little. That's why I have pocket cash, because I've been doing little odd jobs. Now I'm gonna explain to y'all out there right now, and I think this would be crucial for some of y'all out there. Is right now, and I've already done this. I've already done it before. Right now, there's a product out there that if you pressure wash a fence and clean it up real nice, I mean, some of these fences get all dirty and dusty and moldy and stuff. If you pressure wash the fence, they have a chemical right now. It's actually just new on the market. All right, you're getting the exclusive scoop right here. It's barely a half a year old on the market. Instead of hitting it with that Thompson seal stuff, which lasts for about a year, maybe 2 years. All right, instead of doing that, which is a good idea, there's now a product on the market that I'm well aware of that you could hit a fence with that product, and it will last for about 7 to 10 years. All right, it's innovation. All right, it's technology, it's chemicals, it's science. It has nothing to do with Bill Nye, but however. People innovate and stuff, and so now they have a chemical out right now that you can make a fence last and look brand new for about 7 to 10 years, and at the end of the 7 to 10 years, you hit it up with the chemical again, you ride it out for another 7 to 10 years. All right, and the thing is, all one really needs to do in order to do that business, and which I plan to actually start getting into it, is what you're going to need is an air generator. One of those air condensers. You're going to need like a spray can for the chemical. You're going to need a pressure washer and some bleach and a truck to haul it around in. Guess what? You're in business. You're making pretty decent money, right? And not only that, you're saving a lot of people a lot of money, because eventually you have to replace all these fences if you don't take care of them. So it's a particular thing that I'm looking into right now, in which you can, save a lot of people a lot of money, and also make a pretty decent amount of money just by yourself, doing your own work by yourself. And what I got to explain to y'all out there is, if you are in San Antonio or any major city for that matter, I want you to look around the old neighborhoods. The old nice looking neighborhoods, you're going to understand their fences are going to start looking old. You start getting to know people, start getting your name out there. It's going to be like nothing to do all these fences, to redo them, because people are going to want to save money. All right, that's something you could hop on right now. It's kind of man's work. Obviously, a girl could do it if she wanted to do it, but it is kind of man's work. I gotta let y'all know, and fencing in general. And meanwhile, once you're doing this with fencing, cleaning up people's fences and sealing them up for 7 to 10 years with this stuff, it's called Wood Defender. It's brand new on the market. You could then learn how to repair fences, fix fences, put fences up. I gotta let y'all know, fences aren't exactly complicated or complex. Some of them can be more complex, right? But in the nature of fences, they're very simple. Not only that, people hate working on their own fences. They'll pay you money to do it, right? So it's definitely something to look into. It's something that you could get done by yourself. If you had a partner, you might be able to get it done a little bit better and faster. Alright, but I got that on the horizon. I got this and that on the horizon as far as jobs, and I had to let y'all know it's not going to be long before I have money in the bank and things like that. Please don't worry about me. But also, before the sun is completely gone and we don't have no more light, I want to explain to y'all the trade that found me wasn't exactly fencing, although it's pretty good and I like it, and it did kind of find me. But more so, what I want to explain to y'all is gardening is what found me. That's what really has me. And the thing is, I know, I've made a couple videos about it and I talk about it sometimes. But what found me, and it truly found me, I had no idea. Before I started gardening, I had no idea I would like gardening. All right, I got into it on a whim, and the thing is, I fell in love with gardening. And gardening fell in love with me. You gotta understand, these plants are popping off. And if I was one to brag, I would say, look, dude, I make plants pop off like nobody's business. And a lot of people would agree with me. However, it's not, the credit doesn't belong to me. Of course, it belongs to God. God's the one that grows the plants. I just put the plants in the ground and water them, give them some food and stuff. All right, God's the one that makes them grow. However, gardening is what called out to me. All right, and you gotta understand, that doesn't necessarily make a lot of money. You can make some money for you, which is what I plan to do here shortly. But it doesn't necessarily have to make you a lot of money to be your calling, to be what you're truly called to do here in life. I'm pretty exquisite at gardening, thanks to the Lord. All right, I'm pretty damn good at it. All right, and I gotta explain to y'all also, it seems as though my other calling, in life, believe it or not, is making these YouTube videos on this channel. Now, I know a lot of people don't watch. That's not what I make it for. I don't care if a lot of people watch. Right? I care that you're watching. You want to know why? Because you're the right person. I care that the right people are watching. And you are the right person, and therefore I am a success. All right, you're involved in a little bit of success right here because you're watching me, and that's the only thing I ever wanted. All right, don't care if anybody else watches. That I can promise you. All right, but this YouTube channel thing, it might eventually, later on down the line, years from now, if we're still here and we're not balls deep into the Civil War, this channel might eventually make me some money. Who knows? It might make me that Dave Chappelle money. Who knows? It might make me the PewDiePie money. Who knows? All right, but it's not for the money. It's why I do it. It's because it calls me. That being said, something is calling you. Something is calling you, and you might be ignoring it. You might be ignoring it calling. You might say, "Oh no, I need to play it safe. Oh, I need to get this job, and I need to pay these bills and stuff." Something's calling you, and you need to listen. Anyways, it's June the 27th. 2017. I'll have to bid y'all good night. All right, it's time to go memes.